Hey, everybody. It's Eddie from Tokyo. This is your cryptocurrency update from Japan. This is video number 2. It's very XRP centric. The reason why video number 1 was pulled out is because the content was more of a global economic in theme. Now, this is important because there is a new project, new token, new cryptocurrency that claims to be the next generation XRP. Let me explain. Cordite Society is an R3 hosted large developer community which is meant to go alongside the commercial version of the R3 software, but it's open source. And if we had paid attention, we would have seen this article in June where they had CoinDesk received the exclusive release about this stealth project. Now this project, they did let everyone know the name, Cordite, and it promised to do for enterprise blockchains what the ERC20 standard did for Ethereum. And that is to allow new tokens representing various assets, meaning they can be backed by fiat or whatever they wish. Now I'm going to circle back to that, so remember that. And it will be built on a network that is brand new because they have pioneered this new code, and it's designed specifically for the banking industry. One of the leaders of this project, of this Cordite Society, is a former Royal Bank of Scotland, the RBS employee, and he has, along with him, a group of other former bankers. So just hours ago, we learned that the Cordite Society will go into this decentralized finance with this new digital asset called XDC. And it's a full-fledged digital currency. It is going to sit on this open source version of R3. It's regulation friendly. It'll be open door, and it will, be providing liquidity for these decentralized applications. They're going to mint 1 million XDC to lubricate the applications, and the person who is got a funny last name. Sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but his name is Mr. Crook. So Mr. Crook, the ex-RBS banker, calls it the next generation XRP. What a last name to have in this space. The XDC will be environmentally friendly, and membership is open, and the only way you join is to simply operate a node. And the code is something that is designed to pave the way for things like CBDCs to run on their platform. BCB markets will provide the price discovery and the settlement in all major fiat currencies and all cryptocurrencies on this network. They're the first, at least, to join the network. They're an OTC liquidity and custody provider. Their customers include Bitstamp, Coinbase, Galaxy, Kraken, so it gives you an idea of their size. I have seen just so much stablecoin news in the last 24 hours. I've never seen so much stablecoin news. I mean, with the IMF, the Fed, and Jerome Powell, Brad Garlinghouse with his interview with Chris Brummer, and this R3, and also, in addition, one more thing from David, which I'm going to share with you after I explain this thread of 3 tweets that came from David. And it's very good because XRP Darren asked David Schwartz, Ripple CTO, the G20 has published a cross-border roadmap. A global stablecoin is coming. Is there room for a global stable CBDC and XRP? There has been little details about GSC, and what are your thoughts about this? And David is so, of course, kind with his time, and he pays attention to what's being said and asked out there. He said that I don't think there's going to be one world fiat anytime soon. So even with stable coins, there will be a lot of them. To make liquidity between CBDCs, other stable coins, and new tokenized asset classes, securities, DeFi, there's room for a neutral, jurisdictionless asset. And the second of 3 tweets, I think lots of digital and fiat assets will compete to play that role, and there is room for more than one. I see the dollar's role as the world settlement currency slowly shrinking and international commerce increasing. So we'll be fighting for a share of a bigger market. And last, potentially, almost every asset will be a winner here, even the dollar. A smaller share of a significantly bigger market can be a win overall. So that is his tweet. And David spoke in California today. This is quite a long presentation talk. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I will lose 99% of you if I do it. But you can guess what the subject was about. Yeah, CBDCs. And he explains to his audience that he did it virtually from his kitchen, that he had just, came back from recuperating from his surgery. And the CBDC distributions are almost certainly going to happen through intermediaries, the banks, wallets, fintechs, because central banks don't have the scale today to provide direct-to-consumer services. And it would make no sense for them to try to scale up to replace consumer financial infrastructure. And in working to build modern international payments, we have discovered the biggest obstacle is often the very last hop, getting the funds to the payment recipient through the domestic payment system, but lacking connectivity to consumers. So CBDCs don't solve the last mile problem that has made modernizing international payments so difficult. And of course, he goes on to talk about the interoperability, because even if you imagine a future of one world asset, we won't get there unless the new one world asset is compatible with where the value is today. So either way, compatibility is key. And payments and settlements are definitely in the pre-internet state. And there's still this big, huge mismatch today. And there's just a ton of walled gardens after walled gardens. And the stable coins are always going to be tied to a single fiat currency. So this is where I disagree, because we're going to see this one here that could be issued and tied to anything. So I think that is changing. And there probably is not going to be one winner at the end of the day, and there definitely won't be a single stable coin or a single fiat currency for that matter. And everyone uses anytime soon. So the US dollar has been the world's reserve currency since the Bretton Woods Agreement in 1944, but as we've seen, particularly this year, the status is weakening. And if each country issues their own CBDC and starts using stablecoins dominated in different regional currencies, we risk repeating this same mistake again. So, just making your fiat digital doesn't really change anything. And the world currency issued by a world jurisdiction that everybody uses for everything is a pipe dream. And the space needs a neutral asset, and that's where XRP and the ledger come into play. And it's based on a bridge that has no walls, and XRP and the XRP ledger are built specifically for this kind of role. And he says that the XRP ledger can't handle all the world's payments. So sorry, everybody, it's not going to be all the money, but I'm not proposing a one network solution. That's totally unrealistic. So people want different things and have different problems. And XRP can be a hub or backbone that provides the fast international settlement piece. And in conclusion, CBDCs do make domestic settlement more efficient. And that's a very important thing. And I do think his whole talk is definitely worth reading through. I'll put a link to it in the description below. But for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to give you those pulled out nuggets. So it seems to be all the rage, these CBDCs. Well, there is one more thing that also is all the rage, and that's NFTs, non-fungible tokens. You know, I was not paying attention to this, as I have said in some other videos, when Michael Arrington was interviewed by Brad Garlinghouse and he talked about it being the next new thing. I kind of went, well, I don't know if this has any legs, because I just really have not been paying attention to it at all. But in Japan on October 3rd, there was an NFT issued and it sold out like a blink of the eye. And it did so with these trading cards that are representing some of the more popular girl idols in this group called the SKE48. They're from Nagoya, and they're very, very popular. I'll show you the pack of 5 that you can get. And yeah, it just was, you know, I mean, I think it caught everybody by surprise how quick it sold out. I think it sold out like within an hour. And this was to celebrate the 12th anniversary performance of this girl idol group. And I just think this is kind of getting interesting. The cards are available through an app on the blockchain, which is encrypted with the exchange history, the ownership data, and of course, all just written on the chain to prevent unauthorized distribution. And also, too, the unique data that each card or each pack has is developed to be verifiably collectible. I think in this case, it's going to work. And yes, we are in the fluff, if you haven't noticed. A pack of cards, the 5 of them, and you can see them here, are priced at about 1,000 yen, which is just under 10 US dollars. And very often, these groups have their own stage, and these girls have their own stage in Nagoya. Their building is quite big, actually, and it shows that it has a Ferris wheel attached. The special thing about this Ferris wheel is that it is powered by solar power. They have, I think, 32 panels on top of their building roof. And what a fun thing for that age group. I'm sure when they go and listen to them, that is something everybody wants to have a chance to ride in. This is some of the more popular ones out of that group. So this is very, very common. They'll kind of pull a subgroup out of the big group and promote them in a different way. Sometimes they get promoted as a little bit more on the, I don't know, these girls look like they're being promoted more on the sexy side. And that's you know, that the girls kind of are marketed really to be a different flavor or taste for everybody's style. And the key of this business model is to have, you know, at least one girl that everybody loves so that the overall business model is successful. And it is really, really successful. And if you can notice their clothes, looks all the same at first glance, but if you look carefully, every single outfit is unique. This is another repeatable theme that always occurs within these groups, whether that's the girls groups or the boys groups. And I just wanted to show you, this is the most famous boys group ever in Japan. This is SMAP. They have since broken up. I think this is like a mid-career photograph, but I think there was nobody who was bigger than them. They were one of the first. They're part of a management office called Johnny's Office, which is He has since passed away, but the office owns this model, which is the boys group. And today, this is the #1 group, I would say. This is taken in September. And it's called the Bishonen. And Bishonen has a meaning of beauty boy in Japan. And in Asia, beauty boys are a little different. They are a little bit like androgynous style boys. And you might just, think, oh, that's kind of strange, but not really. If you think back, I think my favorite singer who also fell within this category, and actually I can think of a few others too, but I really think David Bowie is the West's version of that same style that is so popular here in Japan for the boys idol groups. All right, everybody. Yes, do take care. Sayonara for now. Bye-bye.